Hey guys, how's it going? So this morning we took the KT Wiz, and it was dicey for a little bit, but for the most part, it was an easy win. The key to the game was Bruce Zimmerman. Sometimes these newer imports, MLB players can show up, and their unknown factor can be a big key to the game where the opposing team isn't used to them. Sometimes they go off and do really well. But I think most of that is an outlier. But for the most part, today, right off the bat, Zimmerman didn't do too well. I think he began pretty shakily. I think he lasted 4 innings, gave up 7 innings, 7 runs in the third. And then the Eagles put 3 runs in the fourth, but they couldn't overcome that early collapse by Bruce Zimmerman. It was just too much. And after the fourth, the Wiz just cruised to a victory. So I think there was when we took the Wiz yesterday, I was a little bit scared of the factor with him, but lucky today we made the right call, and the Wiz won. Taking a look at the rest of the board, I had a lean towards the Twins, but it looks like they tied with the Bears. Landers, I like the Landers, but not enough to take them as the play of the day, but it looks like they won big against the Heroes. The Heroes are so inconsistent. Sometimes they play really bad, and sometimes against good teams they'll upset. Looks like there were a couple of games canceled because of extreme heat. Looking at today's coming schedule, the Tigers against Dinos game, it has a chance of cancellation. I don't really pay attention to the forecast because at the end of the day, if a game gets canceled, we get refunded. So that's the worst case scenario. But let's take a look at today's schedule and see what games we're going to focus on. I think based on the odds, the Landers at Heroes is a maybe. We would have to play the run line though, but I always hesitate about taking the run line, but that's a maybe. Eagles at Wiz again, that's a maybe as a candidate for the play of the day. I think even though I'm leaning Dinos, I'm going to pass in this game because these two teams, especially the Tigers, are so inconsistent. And if we went with the Dinos, we have to take a chance on the run line, and I don't think I want to do it on this game. Lions at Giants, I would lean the Giants, but because it's minus 175 on the run line, I don't think we're going to consider this game. And I think this is a coin flip today, or tomorrow today. So this is a maybe. So let's take a look at the games. As far as starting pitchers, we will start with where I can find the schedule. Yeah, we'll start with the Landers at Heroes and see what the Pedro Avila, it's good to see him again. He has been on fire, so I'm definitely liking him. What's not to like? 2-0 win-loss record, a 1.50 ERA for the season. I think he's got a couple of games under his belt now, but we can't really call him a newbie. And then going up against a Heroes pitcher with a 7.2 ERA and 2.20 WHIP, that's well below average. Even though his record's not so good or it's not so great, his last few games aren't that bad. Against the Twins, he played him twice, and then he shut him out in one game. I gave up 3 runs and a home run out of those hits and 5 hits. So not too bad. Against the Dinos, same thing. Gave up 3 runs. I mean, all of those runs were earned runs. But for someone with a 7.24 ERA, his recent performance hasn't been that bad. So, but because of Pedro, I'm leaning the Lions in this one. Let's take a look at the second game. Eagles at Wiz. The Eagles showed some signs of life. I think if it wasn't for Bruce Zimmerman today, the game would be a lot closer. So even though the score wasn't that high today, looks like Owen White is playing. So, 3.20 ERA. So that's an upgrade from today. And then going against a KT Wiz pitcher with 3.88 ERA and a 8-6 win-loss record. White's record is 500, so not great, but not bad either. Let's take a closer look at the KT Wiz's pitcher. He shut out the Dinos last game, shut out the Twins, and only gave him 2 runs against Giants. Based on his recent performance, I'm kind of leaning Wiz right now, because let's just take a quick look at Owen White. Against the Giants, he gave up 4 runs, all of them earned runs. He shut out the Tigers, and then the Heroes, he did what he was supposed to do. So I think there might be a slight edge to Owen White on the pitching. So I don't think tomorrow's game is going to be as easy as it was today. So I'm kind of thinking it might be a coin flip, and it might be a bounce back spot for the Eagles. So I'm not as strong on the Wiz as I was before I started this video. Let's take a look at the next game. Tigers at Dinos. Even though I'm leaning on the Dinos, I'm going to skip it. I think this is going to be a competitive game. The Tigers are so inconsistent right now. I don't know if they're going to show up or if they just fold tomorrow. So we might as well just pass in this game. I think we'll pass on the Twins and Bears game too. I think it's going to be a coin flip again. So I think I would lean the Bears this time, but it's still a coin flip though. Lions and Giants. Let's take a look at this. I think Austin Roth didn't do that well in his first showing. I like Beasley, but do I like him enough to take him against the Lions, the first place team in the league? Let's take up the line again for that. If you're going to take the Giants, you would have to take the run line at +1.5 and -120. It's not too bad, but I don't think this is a strong enough play, even though I like Beasley. And they might not win, but maybe cover, or the Lions could just go off on them. So play for today. I thought it's going to be KT Wiz again, but I think the line reflects it. They're at home, but the line is -105. I think Hard Rock agrees with me that this is a bounce back spot for the Eagles, but it's going to be a very competitive game. So I'm going to, I think, go with Pedro today. I'm going to take a chance on the run. I don't playing the run line often, but I think with Pedro pitching, I think I'm going to take a chance on that. So the play today is going to be the Landers run line -1.5 at -105. So I hope I don't regret it, but that's the play of the day. Let's take a look at the motto's leans again. For the motto, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. First game is Eagles at KT Wiz. It's a motto, and the recommendation is the Eagles run line -1.5. Next game, Tigers at Dinos. It's a strong lean for the Dinos run line at -1.5. The Twins at Bears, that's an elite lock, the strongest rating that the motto will give for the Twins run line at -1.5. And then our play of the day, Landers at Heroes. That's also an elite lock for the run line at -1.5. And our last game on the schedule, Lions Giants. That's a weak lean on the Lions run line at -1.5. Since there were 2 elite locks today, looks like the top lock is the Landers run line at -1.5. And so I guess the motto agrees, for once, the motto agrees with my play of the day, which is also the Landers run line at -1.5. Well, guys, that's about it. Since the KBO is off on Monday, I will see you guys probably Monday, or that's when I'll be posting for Tuesday's games. All right, later.